Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Boy, it's a great morning this morning. Here we are just a couple of days before the 2014 Preterist Pilgrim Weekend, and I'm very, very excited. Things are super duper hectic. In fact, this will be a short week. This will be my last video for the week as I try to close down on my preparation. Anyway, my name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is my morning musings. I'm sharing with you some thoughts in response to a couple of requests from Brazil. Some of our viewers there have requested that I offer some thoughts on the identity of the land beast of Revelation chapter 13. We have a sea beast, we have a land beast. And I've shared with you that we must keep that within the confines of the Roman Empire, according to Daniel chapter 7, which is where the vision sprang from. So that gives us somewhat of a parameter and a framework for which to understand the sea beast and the land beast. Well, I've also pointed out that there is a partnership of persecution between the sea beast and the land beast. And Revelation chapter 17 depicts the identical type of partnership, only under slightly different imagery. Now we've got the beast with 7 heads, 10 horns, okay? And then we've got this enigmatic city called Babylon. And there is a partnership between the beast and Babylon against the saints. Notice in Revelation chapter 17, that's the beast and the woman, Babylon, these are of one mind. And by the way, it includes the 10 kings who had not yet been given their authority. And they will give their authority, power and authority to the beast. They will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings. And those who are with him are called chosen and faithful. Then he said to me, the waters which you saw, where the harlot sits, are people, multitudes, nations, and tongues. Now notice that verse 16 is very, very critical. And the 10 horns which you saw on the beast, these will hate the harlot, make her desolate and naked, eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For God has put it into their hearts to fulfill his purpose, to be of one mind, to give their kingdom to the beast until the words of God are fulfilled. So, here you have this partnership of persecution between the beast and his confederates, the 10 horns, and the woman, Babylon. But that partnership turns sour. And the beast and his confederates turn on that woman, and they hate her. And they burn her with fire. Now here's something extremely, extremely critical. As I pointed out in my previous presentation, most commentators like to say the book of Revelation was written under Domitian. He's supposedly the beast. Well, the problem here, as I pointed out in the last presentation, is Domitian was never in a partnership with anyone else, period, to persecute the Christians. As I pointed out in my last presentation and in my book, Who is This Babylon?, I give a wealth of documentation from both late-date advocates as well as early advocates, historians as well as theologians, that Domitian never actually persecuted the church as has often been claimed. There was no systematic persecution of Christians by Domitian at all. Well, obviously, therefore, he was never in a partnership of persecution against the church. And he obviously, therefore, did not turn on his partner, some city, and destroy her. However, when we look at Nero, we soon discover, as I document in my book, Who is This Babylon?, Nero was the very first Roman emperor to persecute the church. And by the way, he was partners with Jerusalem in doing so. What many people seem not to realize is that Nero's wife was a Jewess. His entire inner circle of counselors, the most influential people, those who had the most influence on him, were Jews. Thirdly, it is known, Adolf Harnack points this out among others, that at the time of the outbreak against the Christians, there was an embassage of Jewish priests in Rome to try to get Brother Paul killed. It is widely believed among scholars that the combination of Nero's wife, Poppaea, his freedman Acti, and the rest of his Jewish counselors, as well as the Jewish embassage from Jerusalem, it is widely believed that when the fire broke out at Rome, that Nero probably set, that Nero's Jewish counselors are the ones who said, hey, if you want to take the heat off yourself, blame it on the Christians. And as a result of that, Nero was the very first Roman emperor to persecute the church. However, what happened in 66? Well, the Jews revolted. And Nero sent his armies and destroyed Jerusalem. So we have a partnership of persecution between Nero and Jerusalem. The partnership goes sour, and Babylon, i.e. Jerusalem, is destroyed. And once again, folks, I document all of this in my book, Who is This Babylon? And don't forget, very, very special offer. Babylon, normally $19.95, Blast from the Past, normally $4.95, $4.95 shipping on each of them. But for those who watch the YouTube, as well as Facebook, you contact me, $20 postpaid. Now, I can't make this offer to anyone overseas, foreign countries, those outside of the U.S. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. It's simply too expensive. But contact me and I'll work with you on the shipping, all right? You will be absolutely amazed at the evidence that you find in Who is This Babylon for identifying not only the time of the writing of the book of Revelation, but its application as well, and in its prediction of the fall of Jerusalem that occurred in AD 70. Thanks so much for joining me. Go to my websites, www.eschatology.org, BibleProphecy.com. Contact me about ordering the two-book combo of Who is This Babylon and Blast from the Past. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next week, Lord willing. Boy, it's going to be a great weekend with Preterist Pilgrim Weekend 2014. God bless. Be safe. We'll see you next week.